Jackals. If outlaws were to come back to life as animals, this is what they'd be.
Only Kalan knows the way to salvation, and in the Hort, this stronghold in Ignadon, he promises you food, training, protection, and a future. Join us and find yourself. This is me, Herbert, broadcasting from the orbit to bring a warning to all free people out there. Stay safe in the wilderness.
That isn't enough. That isn't enough.
Bye.
What good?
Yes.
What goods?
Yes.
The most impressive pigsty in Edan. I bet there's a warlord squatting in there somewhere.
I met Thorold. He wasn't exactly communicative.
You met him? Well, then you are truly honored. He might not be a man of many words, but that is because he is focused on his task. If he didn't wish to talk, it is because of the work he is undertaking. You must judge the man by his achievements. When he has completed his retreat, I am certain you will understand what our world owes him.
I want to talk about my promotion. I have Engram's pledge.
Then you must have followed Berserker law. If you can impress Angram, you have taken a big step forward.
Are you ready to name me as a paladin?
You have the pledges of the warlords. And you have done a great service to our community. I will not see your exemplary actions go unrewarded. Today, you join the ranks of the Paladins. Wear this title with pride, and in the name of the Pilgrim, hold fast the defense of Edan, and help us carry forward the cause of the Berserkers. Please, go to the blacksmith and collect your new armor. Your new life begins today. Leave the city and show people the way of the Berserker. We are proud of you. Tasks, promotions, whatever it is, now is not a good time.
Stop messing around with that technology, will you?
Really? You're taking me into the Berserker's hometown?
You have a problem with that?
I thought we'd go somewhere more romantic, like Zakor. But no, don't worry. I can deal with these tree-hugging motherfuckers.
So, you become a paladin? Congratulations. I can arrange some suitable armor for you, but it won't come cheap.
I'd like to trade.
Pick your armor, choose your weapon, and we can trade.
I'd like to trade.
Pick your armor, choose your... Take that tick to the pit. It should be disposed of.
I'd like...
Pick your...
Now, if we could move that to the fort, we would never have to worry about the Alps or the clerics again. I wonder if I could steal it.
You want to steal the dome?
There's not much in this world that can't be stolen.
There's no chance of you stealing that thing.
Halt! Not a step further. No one is allowed into the city without an entry.
The outlaws who were trying to get into the city are dead.
Well, that's good news for someone. You know, one of them had requested an entry ID for the city, so the timing has worked out well for you. Maybe you'd want to take his entry ID. That would get you in. What's a curse for one person is a blessing for another, eh? So here, take the ID. Oh, and there are some rules I need to tell you before you enter. First, stay away from the generators. Nobody but the technicians is allowed access to them. That sort of security is why we need to keep an eye on IDs. So if you meet someone who's in the city illegally, report them to us immediately. And Eric will take care of them. We can only keep peace in the city if we all work together, and we keep the city secure. That's what was laid down by the Great Council of Magalan. And the Great Council gave the clerics the responsibility for guaranteeing the city's independence. That means everyone is welcome here, until they cause trouble. So keep the peace while you're in there. Our suggesters are busy enough without you adding to their workload. And that's it. You may pass.
What's a suggester?
Our suggesters are the reason things remain peaceful in the city. If someone causes trouble, then they're either thrown out, see a suggester for reorientation, or both. But don't worry, it's a positive experience that will leave you happy about life. Even so, I recommend avoiding it.
Where can I find Eric?
Just go straight down the path into the inner city. You should find him there.
You mentioned the Council of Magalan.
The Great Council, yes. You'll have to speak to Judicator Alois if you want to know more about that. I'm not that well informed on my history.
Who's Alois?
Alois is the Judicator in charge of the city. You'll find him in the castle. He likes to stay close to the generators.
What do you want? Do you back the clerics here, or do you want them gone?
You get right to the point, don't you?
And are you gonna give me an answer?
I'm for the clerics.
You think they bring security? That they bring... They say... But it... No. You think...
The Albs are more of a threat than the clerics.
Execution, but...
Yeah.
We...
Why don't you do...
What's that? You expect...
You fucked up then, didn't you?
Leave me alone, will you? What do you want? Do you back the clerics here, or do you want them gone?
I'm against the clerics.
Right, good. I can see you talk sense. They say they're here to keep things safe, to keep order. But it's obvious they want to drop their neutrality and extend Ignadon's control into Abessa. Not allowing anyone in or out of the city, that's just the start of it. You think that's because the Alps are getting closer? Or that those followers of Kalan really want a backdoor for invasion?
Well, if there's going to be an invasion, I'm going to need some ammunition.
And you want me to give you that? Well, this is like being back in Tavar. People asking for things and expecting to just get them. But yeah, if I'm gonna talk about the need to fight, I suppose I should give you something to help you out.
Why don't you do something to stop the clerics?
What's that got to do with you? You expect me to trust you just like that?
Shit, that was pretty good.
What do we have here? Fresh meat?
Watch your mouth, Paige, before I stuff your legs into it.
No need to be nasty. Just bringing the feel of Tavar to the domed city. How did you get the guard to let you into the dome? They obviously don't consider berserkers a threat. However you got in, you're going to find it even harder to get out. The clerics are a little jumpy at the moment. You might say paranoid. So, when they do let someone in, it does make me wonder who they are and why the clerics thought letting them in was a good idea.
If it's so hard to get in, what are you doing here?
I got in before things got so paranoid. And I came here for profit, of course. Lots of nervous people close to the Alps tend to be willing to invest shards in their safety, you see. And getting hold of supplies is hard out here. So, if you can get them, you can sell them for a high price. Well, that was the plan. Now, the clerics have stopped me trading and cut off all the supplies.
Where do you get your goods from?
Mostly directly from Tavar. And that's the main problem. Seeing as the clerics have got picky about who comes in and goes out of here. It's impossible to get by the guards without an ID card. And they took mine from me as part of their crackdown. Now they say I'm causing trouble. But what else is a businesswoman supposed to do when she has her business taken from her?
About your trade ban.
Yeah, don't tell me. Trading weapons can pose a danger to the community. But this is about self-defense. The only person who can stop a person with a gun is a person with an even bigger gun. Am I right? I mean, what? Are we supposed to throw rocks at the Albs when they attack? But the clerics want to keep all the guns for themselves and screw the rest of us. They call it neutrality, but I say it's oppression.
What else did you expect? You've been stupid.
I'm not going to argue with you on that. Still, let's say he's right, and that I could get a hold of supplies. Not from Tavar, obviously. They've blocked that route. Let's say I could get some weapons from these separatists, for example. Let's say they have weapons and need shards, and that they also have the business acumen of a stunned troll, so they need a salesperson. Me, for example. What if I was to say that? And what if I was to say that I have to find someone who could enter and leave this city freely? If I was to say that, then what would you say?
I'd say you're walking a dangerous line.
I can't leave without profit. Hell, right now I can't eat without profit. So I need this deal. So if you blab, what have I lost? Nothing. And without any guns to show, it's just your word against mine. And even Alois isn't going to see that as justice.
I could help you get your weapons.
Good. Right. So, this is what you need to do. Leave the city and find a separatist called Radok. I think he's a separatist. But whatever he is, he's a mad fucker. I can't make sense of most of what he says. But he has the weapons, and he likes trade. I think he likes trade. It's hard to tell. He wants to sell the weapons, but you'll have to work on him, okay? He won't just hand them over.
Where can I find Radok?
Up in the Highlands. When we last spoke, he told me he was going to head over to the northeast. He mentioned an abandoned wind turbine. With luck, he'll still be out there.
Good stuff, asshole.
If you're here for the food rations, then I'll tell you what I told the other 100 people. Someone must have been making a joke. I don't have anything to sell or give out, so you can just turn around and leave.
What are you talking about?
The free rations! The free rations, as if there would ever be free rations. Ah, but you're not here for that, are you? Then I'm sorry. I have been the butt of a joke that has left me rather angry, and I thought... Well, I'm sorry. It's just... I'm just so sick of it. The belligerence between the berserkers and outlaws. Everything was simpler when I was a cultivator in Goliath. We had laws and everyone obeyed them. Why can't people just all work together?
If you feel that way, why don't you go back to Goliath?
No. Those days are gone. I left willingly to establish a world heart here in Abessa. But when it became clear that the seedling wouldn't grow, Caleb decided that we would remain here. And whatever Caleb says is best. But now, no, I can't go back. We went against orders from Goliath. If I go back now, they'll just stick me in a cage, no questions asked. The domed city is our last hope.
Better armed is better prepared.
So, you come here from Goliath?
Goliath? No. I was exiled to the valley before I came here.
How many are dead now?
Well.
The fight is the only thing that matters. That makes a real man.
I wonder if he was serious about that.
Hey, it's you.
Yes, Frank. It's me, Jax.
I heard they'd shot you down. That you were dead. Apparently that was wrong. But if you're here, does that mean you're a separatist now? Will you stay here and support our cause? I'm sure you would be very welcome.
What cause?
We've broken free from Zakor, from being slaves to ELEX. And we've worked, persuaded people to allow us into the city. And now we're here, we are working to be allowed to stay. Would you be willing to help us?
I will give you my support.
Good. We have to stick together. People blame us for this war, even though we left Zakor to escape it. They will doubt us until the day peace begins. I mean, they don't even trust each other. Among all these warring people, all these different agendas, we, you and I, share a similar destiny. It's the only way anyone will survive.
What goods have you got? It seems like you're tolerated here in the city.
That is exactly what we are. Tolerated. We are still a long way from being accepted.
Once an alb, always an alb.
Does that count for all of us?
You'll just have to keep working on convincing me.
This city is a place of freedom, but all the old suspicions remain. The outlaws claim they are being oppressed. The clerics say they are neutral, but they aren't. The berserkers, they don't seem to know what they're doing, apart from avoiding their laws. We are trying to discover who we are. I think people see that we are all here for a new start.
Do you need help?
It is good that you offer to help us. The berserkers are already trying to get us thrown out of the city. We need the protection offered by this place. We won't survive without it. We've persuaded people here that we are worth a chance. But there will always be those who won't see it that way. And the Albs and Zakor want us dead. If we're to stay, we need someone to get to Caleb and Jorg. They are key to our future.
About the threat of you being thrown out of the city. What is the problem with Caleb and Jorg?
Jorg is a berserker. He's accused us of spying for the Albs and Zakor. He claims he saw us handing over information about the shield generators. It's completely illogical. We are the ones with the most to lose if Zakor captures this city. But the free people are prisoners to emotion. It makes them doubt logic. They have already thrown one of our group out of the city. Now they are threatening the rest of us with the same fate. We are no friends of the Albs and Zakor. They would see us dead. We want this to be our home now. We need the free people to understand this.
I will help you.
Good. That is the response I wanted. It is best if you go straight to Jorg. Caleb is already attempting further arguments to ensure our expulsion. But it is Jorg's statement that has put us in danger. That lie underpins Caleb's argument against us. If people believe we are working with the enemy, we will be exiled from the city and left to die. But if Jorg confesses his lie, then Caleb would no longer have the proof he claims. They would have no reason to expel us.
Fuck all of them. I hope they drown in their own shit.
We need to sort things out with those traders and get more supplies in.
The fight is the only thing that matters. That makes a real man.
Well, that was a serious waste of time, wasn't it?
Nah.
Yes, you can say that, but we need more food first.
Are you here to seek shelter or to cause problems? This area is a sanctuary for refugees. There's nothing here for reavers, recruiters, or troublemakers.
What's wrong with you? Have I done something to piss you off?
Call it experience, but those in need and those willing to help don't normally question my motives.
Are you always so edgy?
You know you wouldn't need to diffuse things if you didn't get people wound up in the first place. Damn, this is like being back in Goliath all over again.
What brought you out here?
This is a place away from the war. A place people could make up their minds without being pressured to join one of the factions. If the people here wanted to join a faction, they would have. But some people aren't ready for that. Or they've been cast out. They have to go somewhere.
So there's no faction in charge here?
Well, the clerics keep order, but it's not like the Horde where entry means you have to join them. Here you can forget about factions.
You're a berserker. Is Adan trying to conquer Abessa?
I don't answer to Adan. And these people belong to no faction. They belong only to themselves. I stand as their protector against anyone who would force them to do otherwise. My only connection to Adan is my magic. I wish it was more, but wishes don't make things so.
Have you been exiled from Goliath?
Exiled? No. There are those in Adan who want to use my magic for their own purposes. Ever since my power started to grow, they changed me. Their mana changed me, and that change just won't stop. I'm becoming stronger and stronger. It is terrifying.
If that's true, why don't you use your power?
I do, I have. But sometimes it overwhelms me. That's why I fight alone. If I lose control of a spell, there's a chance I could kill anyone and everyone around me. The warlords wanted to test me. Try my powers, to harness them. Now I need to find a solution myself. But to do that, I need to study the properties of ELEX, to learn more about it.
I could use someone like you.
Use? There's a word I've heard too much. Well, count me out. I'm not interested in being used.
I could help you.
What do you know of what I need? What do you know of how to help me? ELEX marks people. Mana, chems, exposure from food tainted by it. It stays with people. You have its mark on you. You're different somehow. What is it about you?
I took ELEX in the past. Is that what you're seeing? Or is there something else?
Took it? You were fed it. You were an Alb soldier. Well, it seems we have something in common. We've both been fed ELEX in one form or another. It's changed us. And neither of us know what that means we are now.
What do you think? My offer still stands.
And what exactly is it that you're planning?
I am going to end this war by taking the fight to the Elexitors. And I'm trying to put together a group skilled enough to win that fight.
And you think I'll take part in this?
In return, I will help your quest to find the ELEX you're searching for. Then you can improve your magical abilities. You said yourself, the longer you are here, the more you fear your powers will overwhelm you. The longer you stay here, the more danger you put these people in. If you really want to protect them, you need to leave.
Even if that's true, why should I leave with you?
I was an Alb. I know ELEX and I know magic. I know the impulses that follow you even during sleep. I know the nightmares and the problems of trying to control power that really wants to control you. And I know what it's like when all that is taken from you. We can help each other.
And it's not like I have other options. Not in the long term. You're right. I'm hiding from it here. I need to get out there and find a real solution. I'll wait by the main gate, and we'll see if your actions can match your words. You should stock up here before we go.
I will meet you by the gate.
Just don't keep me waiting, or you might find I change my mind. You fucked up then, didn't you?
Don't mess me around, or I'll mess with you.
Why are you torturing yourself over that?
The fight is the only thing that matters. That makes a real man.
Yes, I'd heard things were rough there too.
Fucking Helms. He'll cost all of us.
I've heard that before.
Stop being an asshole.
wonder if he was serious about that.
Fucking elves. He'll cost all of us.
Yes, you can say that, but we need more food first.
You think you know what's going on? No one knows what's going on.
Well, well.
Fuck all of them. I hope they drown in their own shit.
Wow, that was a serious waste of time, wasn't it?
I have to go.
You think you know what's going on? No one knows what's going on.
Yes, you can say that, but we need more food first.
I've heard a lot about that. I'm not sure I believe it.
Why are you torturing yourself over that?
The fight is the only thing that matters. That makes a real man.
Well, well.
Are you here to pay me those shards you owe me? Because I'm pissed at
We
how long
need to
you're
sort
taking
things out
pay.
with those traders and get more supplies.
Don't mess
in.
me around, or I'll mess with you.
I've never trusted her.
Fucking elves. He'll cost all of us.
I wonder if he was serious about that.
Are you here to pay me those shards you owe me? Because I'm pissed at how long you're taking to pay.
You don't feed the belly, the rest of the body will die.
I've heard a lot about that. I'm not sure I believe it.
Wow, that was a serious waste of time, wasn't it?
Stop being an asshole.
Well, well.
Don't mess me around, or I'll mess with you.
We need to sort things out with those traders and get more supplies in.
You think you know what's going on? No one knows what's going on.
I wonder if he was serious about that.
The fight is the only thing that matters. That makes a real man.
Well, well.
Don't mess me around, or I'll mess with you.
You don't feed the belly, the rest... the body will die.
Not like that.
You escaped in a crate?
Yeah.
What kept you?
I'm here now.
So you are. And are you planning on telling me where you've set up camp or what comes next? Or do I have to wait for that too?
Okay, I'll tell you what's happened so far.
You've done a lot, but you still have got a lot of work ahead of you. Or we have.
And we're not going to get where we need to without a jetpack.
Don't worry, I know how to use one of those. I'll keep up with you. Now can we talk about my problem? There's just one more thing.
Yes.
Why did you choose to join the Berserkers?
To begin with, it seemed like the best way to survive.
But that isn't everything.
My own people tried to kill me. I want to find answers, and joining a faction has to help me find them.
I hope you're not just doing this for your own personal reasons.
How are you?
I'm okay. I can see that you're struggling with your emotions. It must seem more natural to fall back on logic alone. I'll try to assist you in your struggle in any way I can. People will only follow you if you can understand the world from their perspective, if you truly support their interests.
You said you wanted to study the properties of ELEX. How will you do that?
I can feel the presence of ELEX. Mostly where it's present in great quantities.
Like the converter?
You don't need any special powers to feel the ELEX there. No, I'm talking about unrefined ELEX, when it's raw, latent. I can learn more from it when it hasn't been altered. I want to explore Magalan and look for some large deposits of unrefined ELEX.
How do you want to find these large ELEX deposits?
When the comet impact spread ELEX across Magalan, it found its way everywhere. Into the seas, the rock, the air we breathe. But it is collected and concentrated in some places. I have felt the vibrations, the presence of these deposits. I want to track them down and examine them.
Deposits? I thought ELEX arrived with the comet.
You're right. Part of its power is that it isn't from here. I want to discover how it is spread across Magalan. But when it is processed by the Alps, the ELEX changes. It becomes polarized. The transmuted form that the Berserkers get from their mana shrine changes it in similar ways. That keeps some of its power, but it's the ELEX that came with the comet that I want to learn more about. I feel that there are secrets to learn about it. To understand those secrets, I need it untouched, pure ELEX.
Where can you find this unrefined ELEX?
The first deposit I'd like to investigate is north of the city of Abessa. I can show you.
If it's so close, why hasn't anyone else found it?
I don't know. Maybe because nobody can feel ELEX like I can.
Your senses are better than Alp technology?
Come with me and find out.
All right, show me the way.
It's not far from the city. Follow me. There is a vast amount of ELEX flowing into the sea. It washes out of the cliffs and the ground, and it flows out across the planet. ELEX is everywhere.
But you still think we need to find concentrations of it?
Yes, from the moment the comet struck, ELEX has been seeping into everything on Magalan. That makes the background noise from it hard to read. If I'm to learn more, we must follow those mutants to find where the ELEX is coming from. We know where we have to go. I'll follow you this time. That was great. I'm better at sensing ELEX than any person I know, but there are mutants with the same ability. We should be careful in case the ELEX deposit has attracted them. Let's do this! The deposit must be here. I can feel the ELEX in the ground.
And so what do we do now?
I must meditate. Wait over there. I need space away from you. Please don't disturb me. I need to focus. That was what I was afraid of.
That doesn't sound good.
It's something I've suspected. It's why I came. It's the reason you're going to think I'm crazy. I could feel the ELEX was communicating with me. Like it has a purpose. That it wants something from me, from the people on this planet.
ELEX speaks to you?
I know how crazy that sounds, but it's true.
But it's a mineral. How can it want something? How can it speak to you?
That's one of the reasons I had to leave Goliad. It was like the ELEX was screaming to me. I thought it was because of the mana they were giving me, but now I know it's something different.
So, you want to continue?
You said you would help me. That was our deal. Are you still up for this? Now you know how crazy my idea is?
Let's assume I believe you. What exactly do you think you heard?
I'm not sure. It wasn't words. More a sense of desire, of purpose. But it was fleeting, hard to catch. I think I need to find a bigger deposit of ELEX. That might help me hear it more clearly.
Okay. What happens now?
We go ELEX hunting. But first I need to return... home. I have to go to Edan, to one of our world hearts. The one south of the observatory, in the middle of Edan. Now I've heard it, sensed it here, I want to know if this is what I heard when I was close to large amounts of mana in Edan.
You said you felt something back then. Why would it be different now?
Because I need to be sure. I need to know I wasn't going crazy. Can't you see how important this could be? What this would mean for everyone?
You go. I'll meet you there when I can.
Right. See you in Edan.
You got lucky.
That wasn't...
Stop being an asshole.
Well, that was a serious waste of time, wasn't it? Yes, you can say that, but we need more food.
What does a forest dweller want with me? To drive me off? Or maybe even have me killed? You don't scare me. Your people are a plague upon this land. Although, there is something different about you. Do you usually spend time with people like us?
I was an Alp myself once.
Yes. You stopped taking ELEX. That is rare, which makes me question how you did it.
Another berserker we have to feed? Well then, tell me your tale of woe. Why did you run away from Goliath?
I don't believe in berserker laws.
Well then, you'll fit in here. Most of the people have forgotten who they were, what they were, or just ran from having to decide in the first place. Still, at least another berserker will help balance things out between the factions. You know, they're even letting damn separatists in here these days. But tell me, what is it you want now you're here?
Who are you?
Caleb. I lead the berserkers who've chosen to settle here in Abessa.
You are separate from the berserkers in Udan?
We've kept our beliefs, but left behind the laws. We've set our own rules here. Well, none of us are allowed to return to Edan now. Or we just end up being sent to the valley. As to why they came here, well, the first settlers were sent to Abessa to plant a world heart to expand the forest of Edan out here. But they were cut off from Edan by the Alps, left on their own to survive. And after a while, they decided to keep it that way. The warlords in Goliath weren't happy. But they're stretched too thin for another conflict, so here we are. And since they settled here, others have joined us. Some are escaped exiles, others just chose to leave Edan.
What do you have against the separatists?
They are coming here, to our city. The only city with a real chance of peace among the factions. If it was up to me, then we would make sure these elves went somewhere else. They might say we have the same goal, the same enemy, but I don't believe a word of what they say. Who says they aren't spies sent here to deactivate the dome? They can't be trusted.
You want to have all the separatists thrown out of the city?
Yeah, and you know what? I have already started to make it happen. I'll recruit anyone who'll help get this done. We have an eyewitness who claims to have seen the separatists exchanging information with the Alps. Traitorous bastards.
Who is this eyewitness?
The berserker Jorg saw Fenk meet with an Alb in front of the city. Why would they meet if it wasn't to exchange information about the dome? Sadly, Jorg is the only one who's seen Fenk. And now he started saying he isn't sure he really saw Fenk meet an Alb from Zakor. So I have to jog Jorg's memory. Or make sure he stops denying what he said. There has to be a way to do that.
I can make sure Jorg stops denying his story.
You can? Do you think you can make Jorg stick to his original story? It's for the good of the city. So go to Jorg and make sure he doesn't talk. Either help jog his memory a bit, or make sure he stays quiet. I don't care which. It can never be said again that the Albs might be innocent.
You don't think that Jorg could have been wrong in the first place?
No, never. You can't trust these separatists. They'll betray us sooner or later for sure. I'm telling you, this is just the beginning.
Who knows what they're going to find in those ruins next?
Hey, you're new here in the city, right?
Yes, I've just arrived.
I thought so. I saw you come through the gate, you see? Anyway, I want to ask you something, if that's alright. Have you been to Edan recently? To the Berserkers' city of Goliath, to be exact. A good friend of mine is still there.
Who's your friend?
His name is Kral. He's a guard at the Mana Shrine. At least, he was when I left. He thought he still had a chance to save his brother, Grimar, from the Alb Converter. Do you know what happened to him?
Kral is dead.
No. Shit. Maybe if I'd stayed... You know, I was even planning how I could get to Goliath to see if I could get him out of there. I had this feeling something bad would happen to him. First his brother and then him. A curse on all of Edan. And thanks anyways.
Tell me about your life in Edan.
Me? I was a worker at the pit. You know, I extracted ELEX from old machines so it could be transmuted into mana. I always wanted to join the Hooded Crows and learn the art of magic, but it wasn't to be. My parents forbade me from trying. My clan told me to stop trying. Not that any of that stopped me. and that's what got me banished. I stole mana from the shrine to try and learn magic myself. And I got myself caught. They sentenced me to exile in the Valley of the Damned, but I escaped. I'd seen the Domed City when I was sent on patrol, so when I left Edan, this was the place I thought of. And here I am.
They're addicts, and that makes them dangerous.
Caleb sent me.
What does he want now? I testified about what I saw, just like he wanted me to. This whole thing between Caleb and Fink is starting to get on my nerves. I shouldn't have said anything, okay? But what's done is done, and that's that.
Tell me your version of the story.
My version? I'm stuck between the two of them. I told Caleb in confidence that I saw Fink meet an Alb outside the city. Could have been a separatist, but I wasn't sure. I didn't see any more than that, but Caleb decided to tell the clerics. He convinced me that the Alb Fink met must have been from Zakor. But I have no real idea who he was, or what faction he's with.
About the situation with the separatists.
Do you have any idea what I should do? I feel this is a mess.
You should keep silent. It's too risky to guess.
I wish I was as certain as you, but I don't feel right about this. I'm really not sure who I saw Fink meeting. What if Fink really was speaking to a friend? But the chances of an Alb from Zakor coming so close to the Domed City is really low, isn't it? No, I don't really believe that it was an Alb. I mean, how often do you see them on their own?
Think about Caleb. Remember what he will do to you if you talk.
Caleb can do what he wants. His decision has made me an exile from Goliath. And look what that brought me. No, I've had enough of his orders. I will go to the clerics and do the right thing.
You shouldn't do that. It's too risky to tell the clerics.
I don't care what you think I should or shouldn't do. I have let people push me around long enough. It is time that I did what I think is right. You've helped me decide. Thank you. I will go to the clerics and do the right thing. I don't want someone to be thrown out of the city because of me. The Domed City is our last hope.
We have to push the Albs.
Hey, you're new here.
Yes,
I thought. Hey, good.
Who's your friend?
His name is.
I haven't been to Goliath.
Oh, okay. Well, could you look out for him if you go, okay? And thanks anyways.
Tell me about your life and it.
You gotta think before you go out and do that.
You can forget it, Brabak.
Someone has to lead this
serve
bunch
everyone.
of slobs.
Save yourself some work.
Carry on.
You don't have to believe everything they say.
What are you... Hey, come over here. Let's get a drink together.
What are we celebrating?
Victory over the Alps! Or do you have another reason to celebrate? Because any reason works for me.
Victory over the Albs?
Well, imminent victory. Got to be, hasn't it? Or don't you have any confidence in us? Don't say the wrong thing now. You got to believe if you want to succeed.
If you keep drinking, you're not going to beat anyone.
What the? I was being hospitable there. Now you're opening your mouth and inviting someone to shut it. And I am so close to plugging it for you. But because you're new, I'll give you a chance. One final chance. If you get the next round, we'll stay good friends. So, what'll it be? Are you gonna take it in the teeth or feed it to the liver?
The next round's on me.
There. That's how we beat the Alps. A word from me, and they'll piss their bladders dry.
Why aren't you in a den with the other berserkers?
Fuck the berserkers. I don't have anything more in common with them. They would have exiled me to the valley sooner or later, so I beat them to the punch and left. Fuck them and their laws. You can have it much easier here. And if you want to earn something for nothing, try fighting one of the outlaws here in the domed city. Those assholes always come off worse. Just ask Riley. He knows it's time for him to take another beating.
Why do you want me to fight Riley?
It's about time someone pays him a visit. Now, you're the one to do it. That lying shit is telling people I killed a family out in the Badlands. Total fucking bullshit. I killed 5 families out in the Badlands. Parading around out there. Hardly a weapon between them. Like they wanted to die. Those dipshits got themselves killed. And now, Riley spread it all around the dome. He's even got some of the guards believing his yabber. But if someone else were to shut him up, I'd be in the clear, and those guards would be off my back. Take care of him, and I'll make it worth your while.
Where did you last see Riley?
Well, the last time I saw him, there were 2 of him. I was too drunk to deal with the bastard. And the guards didn't waste a second to get me away from him. But my guess is he must be under the dome somewhere shitting himself.
You need to learn respect for others.
What? You think I'm a child? So piss off, or I'll give you your head on a plate.
Give people some respect, and you won't need to fight.
Let me tell you something right now. I'm gonna give your whore of a mother a reason to cry. Come here.
You gotta think before you go out and do that.
Better put that weapon away.
So, you've finally seen reason.
All right. You've made your point, so leave me alone.
You had better Leave people alone from now on.
I got it, I got it. So, I have to go.
I still serve you, even though the other people complain about it.
You aren't the first to tell me that. Not now. I've got...
Caleb sent me.
What does he want now? I testified about what I saw, just like he wanted me to. This whole thing between Caleb and Fink is starting to get on my nerves. I shouldn't have said anything, okay? But what's done is done, and that's that.
Tell me your version of the story.
My version? I'm stuck between the two of them. I told Caleb in confidence that I saw Fink meet an Alb outside the city. Could have been a separatist, but I wasn't sure. I didn't see any more than that, but Caleb decided to tell the clerics. He convinced me that the Alb Fink met must have been from Zakor. But I have no real idea who he was, or what faction he's with.
About this situation with the Separatists.
Do you have any idea what I should do? I feel this is a mess.
You should keep silent. It's too risky to guess.
I wish I was as certain as you, but I don't feel right about this. I'm really not sure who I saw Fink meeting. What if Fink really was speaking to a friend? But the chances of an Alb from Zakor coming so close to the domed city is really low, isn't it? No, I don't really believe that it was an Alb. I mean, how often do you see them on their own?
I am an Alb. Trust me. I know when Albs are lying.
You're an Alb?
A former Alb. Like you, I can't go home without them thinking I'm a traitor. I know Albs, and Fink is lying.
Well, then you're right. The risk is too great. Thank you for backing me up. I've been so worried about the truth. You've helped me decide. Thank you. The Separatists must leave the city. I will go to Caleb and...
She took that secret to the grave.
The Albs were exiled from the city.
Then you convinced York to speak up. You did well. Allowing them in the city was simply too big a risk. Here, take this. It's a small thanks for the big favor you've just done us. Thank you for your service to the city.
I'll see you later.
The domed city is our last hope.
What do you want, York?
You sent someone to me because you... seem to be afraid that I would admit my fears.
I sent someone to you for the security of the city. You know what you saw. You're just afraid of what it can mean.
Yes, that's true. I just wanted to say that I'm behind you. I mean, even if it wasn't an Alb that Fenk spoke to, the risk of letting the Separatists stay in the city is simply too great.
I'm glad to hear you say that. And I'm glad that you stand behind me. You've always been loyal, York.
Better armed is better prepared. I have to go.
Thank you, Caleb.
I'll need the key.
Yes? Is there something urgent? I have a lot to do, as you can imagine. This city does not run itself. So, please excuse me if I'm short with you. This city is made up of a whole mass of confusion. Everyone looking for a new start. No one able to forget their past. They need a leader to hold things together.
You're in charge here?
Well, let's say that I'm the person holding all these threads together. There's no ruler here, we all work together. Everyone here wants something. Whatever you're searching for, it will only add to the list of demands we already face. And providing for the people we already have is a logistical challenge. That means to accommodate everyone we're on strict rations, and those rations have to be earned.
How long have you been in charge of the Dome City?
I've been in office for 8 years now, and it hasn't been easy. Maintaining a neutral position to the factions while fighting the Albs. By Kalan, there really are more pleasant posts they could have appointed me to.
What if someone wanted to replace you?
Some have tried, yet I am still here. This city was created by the Great Council of Magalan. They made the clerics custodians of this place and their legacy. The Great Council may be long gone, but what they stood for, a unity of purpose, a future for all of Magalan together, that is something we still believe in here. So, it is our job to remain neutral. It is our job to serve all, no matter their background, however hard our residents make it for us.
Listen, the council is gone. Why care about what they said?
You don't think that was a better time? Laws for prisoner exchange that assured borders, set rules for trade? Even if you don't care about the blood spilled since the council's rule was broken. The clerics swore to a code, and that includes keeping our oaths. And an oath was sworn to the council by my forefathers. That makes it my duty to see that oath is kept.
How are things here in the Dome City?
Tense. The battles out there are always reflected in here. Tensions run high if the outlaws attack the clerics, or the clerics attack the berserkers. And there's always the fear of an Alb invasion. Those tensions drive greed, anger, and fear.
There is war out there, and here your shards will be stolen from your hand if you aren't careful. It's like the world has gone crazy.
Why have things become so bad?
Yes, a whole host of reasons. Maybe it would help you if I tell you how things are. The Berserkers have lived more and more reclusively ever since the Pilgrim went into his retreat. The outlaws are more organized now the Duke has taken power, and the Alb separatists seek shelter with us to escape the powers in Zakor. All told, very dark signs that we'd face another global catastrophe. And here we are, in the middle.
Is there something I can help you with?
If you want to help, there is something that has to be taken care of quickly. You must have noticed that the mood is very heated here. One more issue, one wobble, and everything we've held together here will fall to pieces. One of my people has reported that the outlaws are expecting a weapons delivery. The last thing that this city needs is more weapons. And who knows who the outlaws will sell them to. I want you to intercept this delivery and bring it to me.
Are you having a lot of trouble here in the city?
Keeping the factions together is always an issue. The outlaws are always up to something, but things have gotten worse, and to cap it all, we've had a sharp rise in thefts. I believe an organized group has started operating here. Not the usual outlaws. This group seems to be outside the factions. From the little I've heard, they're more like a secret society than your regular set of theftmongers. I've offered a large bounty for any information that leads to their capture. And capture would be best. I want to find out who their connections are. If you can find out more about this secret society, I can make you rich.
About the outlaws' weapons delivery. You've been using informers to try and catch them?
Of course. Information is key to keeping the peace. But there are always things you miss. And missing things leads to nasty surprises. And I'd rather be the one dealing those out than receiving them. Particularly when it comes to outlaws. Are you going to show me that you are the exception?
I know who is trying to smuggle weapons into the Dome City.
So, you met Paige. We've suspected her for some time now, but we've yet to catch her with any shipments of weapons. But if my information is right, then she's found herself a new source and is trying to acquire some as we speak. If she tries to get you involved in this business, then do the only thing that is right and bring me what she wants.
That isn't enough.
You once possessed great ELEX abilities, didn't you? You're probably a soldier from Zakor, possibly even
a commander, but you are now free from ELEX, and from the orders that come from the heart of Zakor. Have you come here to die like the clerics that I just killed? Or are you here to trade?
I'm not here to fight you.
Good. That would benefit neither of us. I have traveled alone since I left Zakor, and I wish to remain so. Still, if you have information to give me, that would be useful. Information and shards are what an alb needs to survive in the lands of the free people. Not that either of those things help these clerics keep their lives.
Paige sent me.
Paige? Do I know Paige? Faces and names of the free people? They merge into one. But you must mean the woman from the domed city. But I have business to conclude before we speak. It seems there are 2 followers of Kalan nearby who are anxious to see their god in person. And I must send them on their way. Quickly, decide. Will you stand with me in battle?
You can count on me.
Good. Then let us send Kalan as followers. This one's mine! The clerics lie in the dirt, and there is no sign of their so-called god. Let us hope the stench of these bodies makes the rest of his followers think before they challenge the separatists. Loyalty should be rewarded. Loyalty is what will save us from the free people. I also have something that should please the woman from the domed city. Here, give her this. It should be enough for her to start her plans. I will arrange to deliver the rest to her in due time.
And what about me? Do you have any gear I could use?
I see you have learned the ways of the free people. There, I can't do anything more for you. Beware of the ELEX.
Nothing is free in life.
You're back in business.
Good. I was hoping for some higher caliber stuff, but this will do. If you'd brought spitballs and blowpipes, I'd find someone to buy them. People just aren't feeling safe right now. Here, this is for getting your feet sore and arranging the deal. Who knows what they're going to find in those ruins next?
You should think about leaving.
Hey, you!
Let me guess. I'm not allowed into the upper quarter?
What? No, everyone's allowed to move about freely here. I just have a question for you. You got here recently, right? I just want to know what things are like outside the dome. What's going on out there? Are the Albs attacking?
There is war going on. You must have heard about it.
Heard, yes. But we're cut off from it. They can't get into the dome, so they pass us by like a river around a rock. Kalan gave us the knowledge, and now look what we've achieved. A safe harbor for all people. The clerics and Ignodons say we've strayed. I say we've found the true path.
You built the dome?
I designed the plans for it, then we built it together. My name is Eric, by the way. Chief engineer here in the dome. I'm in charge of all the generators and technicians who oversee them.
Why don't the clerics have a dome like this in Ignodon?
The dome requires immense amounts of energy, and the fluctuations in it have to be constantly balanced. The technology is complex. That means there's no way to cover the Hort with a shield like this. Besides, the cliffs around Hort give it a natural protection.
Can this dome survive an Alb attack?
Of course. Why do you think we built it? As long as we can maintain a constant energy flow, then they can't get in. Unfortunately, achieving that isn't so easy. Some of the energy regulators are starting to malfunction again.
Malfunctioning energy regulators sound dangerous.
Of course they are. Outside of frying yourself if you try to adjust them. If we were attacked right now, the whole dome would go critical.
About the broken energy regulators. What will happen if they aren't repaired?
If just one regulator fails, it could mean an emergency shutdown for the dome. Otherwise, the discharge it would create could kill a whole lot of the people the shield is supposed to be protecting. But whether it's a discharge or an emergency shutdown, both scenarios would see us defenseless.
How many energy regulators are broken?
Well, all of them. I've sorted replacements where I can. But Lutz hasn't received his yet.
I will help you with the energy regulators.
I wanted to do it myself, but do you really think you could handle it? I thought you berserkers didn't want anything to do with technology.
Do you want my help or not?
Yeah, I suppose I should remember the rules of this place. Doesn't matter who you were, it's who you are now. I have the energy regulator here. Please, take it to Lutz and help him to install it. Come back to me when you're done.
About the Outlaws' weapons delivery. I have what you wanted.
I'm glad to hear it. I hope that the goods are all here.
Look for yourself.
Good. I wanted the whole shipment intact. Here, your reward. Ah yes, the weapons dealer. How is he doing? Is he still alive?
You wanted him dead?
No. I was just curious. But thanks to your actions, I don't think any more deliverers will find their way here in the weeks to come. And that comes as a relief to us all.
you're back in business.
Good. I was hoping for some higher caliber stuff, but this will do. If you'd brought spitballs and blowpipes, I'd find someone to buy them. People just aren't feeling safe right now. Here, this is for getting your feet sore and arranging the deal.